Hi guys. After watching this Call of Word fight and all the heated debates afterwards, I just decided to make this video to share my thoughts on the subject. So first of all, it has to be said that I was supporting Word. I like Sweet Science of Boxing and I wanted him to win. But after the decision was announced, I was glad that Kovalev didn't win the fight, but I felt that he won the fight and he was robbed. And then I watched the fight again and watched all the debates and opinions on YouTube, which prompted some questions and kind of prompted some answers that I wanted to share in this presentation. So first of all, back to those who say Ward won the fight. And pretty much all of them, and I watched a lot of debates and opinions here on YouTube, and pretty much all of the people who say that Ward won the fight, they use the same phrase. They say at the beginning, they start with, it was a close fight, but before even going into the arguments why Ward won the fight and all of the reasons behind his win, they say this phrase. It was a close fight, but before, as I said, all the arguments, and the arguments are, number one, by far, the number one is that Kovalev faded and slowed. The other being that Ward is just a better boxer. He outboxed Kovalev. He adjusted after the knockdown. He became smart and he outsmarted Kovalev. Then they say that Ward showed heart, and those body punches in the middle and closing rounds did make the difference. So what problems I have with that? What questions I have to those arguments and people who say that Ward won the fight? So first of all, let's start with this phrase. Even before going into the arguments and breaking them down and discussing them, let's start with this phrase. If it's a close fight, it was a close fight, but. So I have a question pop up in my mind. If it was a close fight, if it's even and a close fight, shouldn't it go to the one who scored a clear knockdown and wasn't knocked down, who was aggressor pretty much the whole fight, who had more punches thrown, who had more punches landed, who had more power in those punches landed, who had more power punches landed? Yeah, those questions are in my mind. So what about the arguments? The first one, Cole faded and slowed. Yes, he did. But is it the reason why Ward had to win the fight? Is that the reason he won? Good skill. Good skill, to win the fight. Yes, there were those body shots. But Kovalev, slowed down. He didn't stop. Ward didn't hurt him once. He wasn't like in the survival mode as Ward was in the second. Did Ward hurt him with those body punches? Well, no, I didn't see Kovalev hurt. No, honestly, those body punches were crisp. Sometimes they were heavy, but I didn't. Maybe they slowed him down, but he wasn't hurt at any moment of the fight. And just because the fight went from total domination in those second, third round to a more competitive fight doesn't mean that the other guy deserves to win. That's just how I see it. Second, how can you outbox somebody and be outpunched? Yes, and yes, there is a way, and the only way is to land more power punches. And who landed more power punches? Like if you look at the stats, Kovalev landed 17 more power punches. That's almost a third what Ward did. So that should matter. Certain force, yes, Ward showed heart and was smart. But here's the problem that I have with all the arguments. He showed heart. He was smart. He's just a better boxer. Yes, he is. But in the fight, it's a fight. You know, if you want to give him a win, then it means you should change the whole scoring system. It should be more like in figure skating or artistic gymnastics. You should give something for the performance, some extra points. Honestly, if you want worth winning, you should give some extra, you know, points for the footwork, for the smooth movements, for ducking punches, and those have to be scored somehow and embedded into the final results. But that's just not how I see it. And also, the problem that I have with you guys is that whenever a European fighter comes over to the United States, you say, many of you say, like, hey, welcome to the true professional boxing where power matters. I remember when Lomachenko was coming over to the United States, and all of you were angry. Why? He has a shot. In his second fight, he's just an amateur. And hey, Salido, he showed what a pro boxing is, what power, where power matters. Yes, yes, that he did. Now all of a sudden you say, hey, fluency in the ring, uh, points scored, um, how bad a boxer what is. These are all kind of amateur boxing comments that you use now. And I have a problem with this. I have a problem. I don't know. Maybe Kovalev was a bigger guy. Maybe he was kind of what shouldn't came up in the way to fight him. Maybe he should have stayed down. But these are just arguments. For me, power matters in the professional boxing. But I don't know. I have some questions. Please help me, guys, to understand them. Or otherwise, with such pro boxing, I'd better, come back to this AIBA amateur, corrupt amateur kind of stuff where sportsmanship matters more, you know, still matters more. And just, leave any comments or thoughts on this video. I would really like to hear some opinions. Thanks a lot.